a church where hope lives. What if you walked into church and you could not, you could not see yourself? I'm not talking about being visually impaired, but I'm talking about the fact that no one dared to show and to share with you their scars. But when you think about it, wouldn't this be a perfect place? It would be a perfect place. It would be surreal. The fact that no one had to deal with anything. So this has to be the picture that God painted for his church. The church that he kneeled down to pray for as his spirit wheeled for another door. The church that he sealed with his blood as it spilled onto dirt to form mud as they killed God's stud. This church would be able to floss this stud around like the gloss beaming from perfect manicured nails were forged into his hands and feet. A crown of thorns were placed on a thin layer of epidermis with no retreat because it was made for this king. Whips would sing as they violently danced in the air, as they would tear through a butchered, sun-torched body that had been destined to be heir to the throne of God. This picture-perfect church would then be a fraud. Think it not odd that God, in his glorified state, would show his scars to unbelieving men, and we act like stars that people can't reach. They only see us from a distance. This is why people lose hope. Because I cannot see me. It's not that I'm looking for who I am. I'm looking for who I'm supposed to be. Excuse me, here's a question. Where is my ex, drug-addicted individual that the story of their life is not fictional, but the real, not mythical power of God stop you from smoking crack, weed, and tobacco, snorting coke, meth, and ecstasy, shooting heroin, cocaine, and popping pills? I know maybe somebody's feeling uncomfortable, but no, I can't chill. Where is my ex, sexually confused folk? So much that when people spoke to you, you already had an agenda to stroke more than just their egos. Friends were no longer amigos because you went for broke. Listen, you slept with people because you thought they were cute. They looked good in a suit, but it was always their birthday. Still trying to make your soldiers salute so many bodies that if we took the square root of the number, it would be hard to compute all the STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, sinfully transmitted diseases that you should have gotten and had the nerve to toot your own horn like a flute. And for some of us, it didn't matter if I was a boy and he was a boy, or if I was a girl and she was a girl. We cast our pearls before swine. You may feel that your light is little, but God said, can you please let your light so shine? Where is my ex-insecure population who felt damnation every time someone critiqued you? Whose location of residency was on the inside? This world you sought to hide from. And where is my ex, angry, mad, frustrated, rage populace who would fuss and cuss over stuff that seemed minute to us, and yet insecurity would thrust you into a torpedo just to combust on those who simply discuss your name without your permission? And lastly, where are my ex-whatevers who thought they would be dealing with this forever. Though many of us knew how to get out, but not clever enough to lever this fight with God's might, his endeavor to have you delivered, and you never award whoever, whenever, whomever, with however God can sever the ties with your whatever. People need to know that there's hope. People need to know that there's hope. People need to know that there's hope. So God needs this church to find your ex and flex them in front of those that seem to be perplexed. Like it seems that no one's been in any wrecks. Like sharing my testimony puts a hex on my salvation. On the contrary, my testimony isn't like dairy and I'm lactose intolerant. It's the cherry on top of a life that says, pretty please, will you share? Me. He or she would like to deal with this shame. Because when you look at X, you can see it two different ways. You can see your ex like this, and that it always subtracts from your life. Or you can let God deal with your ex and have it add to your life. People want to deal with this shame. And I can't blame people from walking out of a church with pastors that have been prepped for pretty priceless preaching and first ladies laden with luxurious, lackluster looks and saints stained with silly, selfish standards. Hope then would be slandered. So God needs this church to be bold. Bold enough to tell the untold, understanding that those listening that are still hiding will scold you because you're sold out. Yes, I mean sold out. So you can have this gold. I know it's about time that my testimony is told and not mine. This is a church where hope lives.